You feel me? Some burgers or some steak or some chili cheese fries, or like one of them beef hot dogs off the grill, only off the grill though, or in the air fryer. I don't want nothing else. I want some homemade mac and cheese. I want some lobster mac from Ocean Brown. I want some sushi cold. I want some Thai food from the crib. I want somebody's daughter to come cook for me that learned how to cook from their grandma at the crib. Come cook for me.
important message for the citizens of the United States of America. Fresh out the swamp. Suck my dick, bitch. Well, ass. Titty. I never. Pussy. What? Penis. Oh shit. Balls. Damn. Vagina. Oh no, she did shit. I can't be focused around you, cocksucker. Oh my god. Get that poop in that dooley. Give me your andouille. Give me your booty. Damn it. Did I ruin it?
I haven't started yet. Can I make this album?
Okay, go for it. Go, girl. Fuck you.
Okay, damn.
It's like that. I look cool in my fucking hoopty. You look like a piece of shit in your fucking Denali.
Ugly.
Oh my god. Megan the Stallion has a new boyfriend. I'm going sick
what?
of him.
I think it's kind of weird that his name's
I
Tori.
still will take a nap on her big fat butt. Bitch. Sorry, I came a little, but not a lot. This shit's hot. Girl, you feel heat? What? Whoopty shit. Whoopty woo. You're ignorant. Who's that screaming? Why is everything always going down at the gas station? I don't know. You're always shooting some kind of fucking weird ass fucking ratchet video shit over here. And then they sell chicken and fucking pizza. And then they fucking sell boudin and andouille sausage. I want that. This bitch. Yeah. Louisiana gas station is where it goes down. There's this old man driving one of those trikes in the fucking snow.
Oh shit.
And he's fucking blasting some EDM like he had his own personal rave going on. What the fuck?
Randy or
And they looked at me like I'm a sweet piece of ass. I'm supposed to hop in this little fucking tricycle. Fuck you, old man.
Go to
I
hell.
understand you're going through it right now. Your midlife crisis and your erectile dysfunction, whatever. Maybe your wife hates you, but she probably hates you for good reason. You're probably a piece of shit. Look at me and my fucking hoopty. I look like the shit. I look like a badass bitch that you want to get with. You want to bag, but you can't. Fucker, old ass bitch, driving around in your truck. Music too loud. Music that nobody likes.
Welcome. Come on in. It's the rap yard.
Yeah,
Hey, buddy. How you doing?
I'm doing all right there, buddy. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm trying
How's
to
it? How's everything sounding over there? Sounds good. Too loud?
No. Well, the sound effects are a little loud, but I wouldn't say. I don't know. Loud
Okay.
enough. You're good. So we're having a sort of a bonus episode today. We have a very, very special guest coming on here right about now. Please welcome Open Mike Eagle.
Yo,
What up? What up?
chilling. I sound good to y'all. Levels all good.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
Sirski.
Okay,
definitely.
Good to
That's
hear.
amazing. Everything's working without a hitch. That never happens.
By God's design.
Wow. So I know you're very familiar with the podcast world. You've been doing the podcast thing for a long time.
True.
Yeah. So do you ever do yours live? I'm not sure.
I
that
don't do my pod live. I live stream on Twitch 3 times a week, just
Oh, wow.
doing a show that I do just on Twitch. But I don't do too many interviews or nothing on it. I just kind of I call it the morning show, and I got all these segments, and I just kind of do my own thing on there, but I don't
I
really
got.
do the pod.
Well, okay, I'll have to find you on. I didn't even know you were on Twitch. I'm gonna have to find you on there because.
Yeah, I just got off like an hour ago.
Oh wow. Okay, so you were ready to go.
Mhm.
Yeah, Twitch is interesting, isn't it? Like it's kind of its own little world in a way.
It really is. And
And
I've been delighted to find that there's a lot of like adults on there. Like it's like, a lot of heads this, my age or around my age that are interested in some of the things I'm interested in. So it's not just like a bunch of kids waiting for me to fire up Fortnite, you know what I'm saying?
yeah,
Oh, you
I guess
game on there too?
No, I say I don't. That's the
Oh, you
thing.
don't
Like,
game. Oh, okay. I thought you
but
said you game on there.
no,
yeah.
you're saying that was kind of what you were expecting, kind
Right.
of. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
You got a huge following on Twitch. I know it's hard to get followers on Twitch.
Not huge. I got like 5,000, but I've been at it like starting about a year and a half ago. I just got really dedicated to doing it 3 times a week. And so I
Mhm.
started with like 300 followers, and as of this morning we got like 5,200, you know?
Hey,
So
that's
it's
pretty good, man.
always growing. It's always growing.
Yeah, as a non-famous person, it took me about 3.5 years to get. I think I have like 500 something followers on Twitch. So
Yeah, it's difficult to grow. I mean, a lot of the growth for me honestly is in taking clips of what I do and putting it on YouTube, short clips, putting it on TikTok and Reels. Like that stuff really feeds back into growing my audience on Twitch.
yeah, I think that's true for any. I mean, you have to, as an artist or whatever, if you're trying to put your name out there these days, you have to be able to work in all the different, platforms and know how to like not repurpose, but I guess that's a good way to put it. Repurpose your content for different things.
For sure.
Yeah. Yep. All right. So you actually own a podcast network too,
Yep.
right? That's awesome. I was a little unclear. Your one show that you had with Prince Paul, and then LP, was that like were they guest hosts or guest co-hosts? I guess.
So that podcast is called What Had Happened Was, and the way that
Right.
it's formatted, it's a season-long interview with one guest about their whole catalog. So the
Oh,
first season was all about Prince Paul. The second season was all about LP. The third season was all about Dante Ross,
right.
and the fourth season was all with Questlove.
Okay. Okay. See,
That's fire.
I really just thought maybe it was you and people that you worked with, or knew or were friends with in the music industry that were like, you're just talking about music. And
No,
obviously, I didn't listen to the entire all of the seasons, but it's really kind of it's cool. It's kind of like peeping in on a conversation between two of the greats.
but yeah, for me, it's just unpacking catalogs from artists that have inspired me. So like it's
Mhm.
really all about their work, like all about the creative decisions, what was going on in their life at the time, like, the successes, the failures, like all of it. It's really about getting, providing them a platform to tell their own story.
Yeah, definitely. Well, that's what we're aiming to do here. Hopefully, is if there's any more of your story that you haven't told already, being that you're podcasting all the time. But what people who may not be too familiar with you may not know about you. Just to kind of give a quick synopsis, you're from Chicago,
Mhm.
right? Originally, how did you end up involved in Project Blowed? Like, how did you end up in California?
So my dad has always lived in LA. So I started visiting LA from Chicago when I was a little kid.
Okay.
So by the time I got to high school and I started rapping, when I came out here, I had already heard of like AC Alone and Micah Nine and like Freestyle Fellowship just from music I was listening to in Chicago.
Hmm.
Um, and they kept talking about a place called the Project Blowed. So one of the times when I was in high school, when I was visiting LA, I made it a point to go, and was happy to find that most of what it was people doing the exact same thing I was doing in Chicago, which is standing around on the street corner freestyling.
Yeah.
So I made it a point whenever I was in LA to go there. And then when I moved here in 2004, and I just went to the Blow and never left.
Yeah. Never look back. So, are you kind of like what's your position there now? Are you a participant? Are you like a mentor? Or
Well, so the Blowed has changed. It used to be as its main function, open mic every week. It was an open
Right.
mic every Thursday night, right? And that's what it was for years and years and years and years. But that stopped. But along the way, it also became like like an artist collective, it's like a rap crew
Oh,
too.
okay. Yeah.
Um, so now it's kind of just evolved into that. So it's really just this rap family
I
that
got you.
that I've been fortunate to have a place in coming from Chicago. But that's sort of what it is now. So there aren't really any positions except like there's just levels of OG now because it ain't really like a bunch of new people.
I
There's
think I
not.
heard Luda. I think I heard Luda talk about Project Blue.
Really? Yeah, I
I
know
think that
Luda
might have
used to
been.
listen to AC Alone back in the day. I know he
Yeah, I think
said
that's
that.
like the first time I actually heard Project Blue was from Ludacris, I believe.
Yeah, I know he
That's
had
that's
said he used to listen to AC Alone. I never heard him talk about the blow, but I never even heard the actual quote where he said he listened to AC Alone. I just heard that all the time. So maybe it was from
Yeah.
the interview you heard or saw.
Yeah. We actually had Mike and Nine on here
That's what's up.
a couple times. Yeah. Shout out to Mike and Nine. And I'd love to have AC Alone on here to get, all sides of everything. But yeah, like, what is that? How do you get into Project Blowed? Like, I guess it's like you said, it's different now than it used to be. But
Right. It's a lot harder to get into now because like when I got to when I moved here in 2004 and I was determined to sort of be a part of it, it was showing up every week, signing the list every week, getting on stage and rapping every week. But then
mhm.
like you would start to experience the politics because all places have politics. And this
Yeah,
place
definitely.
that like it's a rap collective, but it's a rap collective that emerged in like the hood. So
mm,
like there was territorialism, there was like gangbanging energy kind of in it too. Like um so I embedded myself in it, but then I started to notice, oh, like the OGs, like the ones who started it, they get like special treatment and privileges, and you kind of just got to deal with that. Um, I got in a lot of arguments with OGs
really.
because they were it wasn't like hazing, but they definitely like went hard on us younger dudes to
Yeah,
like make sure the skills was tight, make sure because the thing about the Project Blowed is like we're supposed to be like the best,
the
like
cream of the
the
crop.
best, so like the
Yeah,
best at the craft of rapping, like the best at styling, the best at freestyling, like the best at battling, like so they went hard on us. And we really had to earn a seat at the table. And I think because I was from somewhere else, I really had to even go a little harder than
yeah,
some other people did to sort of earn a seat at the table and let them know I wasn't going nowhere.
Yeah, make you practice your craft and
Yeah,
make sure you come prepared. I mean that's just dual joust. Like
right.
come with your finest. You know what I mean?
It really
Cipher
is. It's like a dojo.
definitely
Like you go
sparring.
in
Yeah,
there, you learn styles, and you survive through the fire of battling.
yeah. So would they make you like if you had a certain style, let's say for example, would they be like, okay, come back next week and do it like this? Like,
Not quite. Like once certain cats that were more the mentor type,
mm-hmm.
once they took you under their wing, then maybe in like studio or something, they
Yeah.
would they would talk to you about different styles. But like on the street corner
Mm-hmm.
or on the stage at Project Load, it was really just about show and prove. Like
yeah,
All
every
right.
you
man
was
for
battling
themselves.
somebody. If you was battling somebody, they wouldn't say, "Hey, do a different style."
Yeah,
They would
yeah.
they would just start doing a different style, and either you could hang or you couldn't hang.
You could be
You know,
obliterated. Yeah.
yeah.
Did you ever have any moments that were kind of like that, like where you went up there and you were like, okay, maybe I shouldn't have done this.
Yeah, the
Kind of.
first time I went when I was in high school and I started rapping and I was, like I was pretty accomplished from my scene in Chicago. Like I was a young dude, but I would battle anybody. I used to win a lot of battles like the people wouldn't expect me to win.
Right.
Um and so I took a little bit of confidence into the blow when like I really was rapping and I went in there and I signed the list and I signed that day. This was like the first time I went as a high schooler, instead of just having a normal weekly open mic session where you just sign a list and kind of do a song or freestyle or do a verse. It was
Mhm.
a battle. Like it was like an organized, 4-round battle or whatever,
Right.
like a tournament setting.
Okay.
And so I signed a list, got on, and I was, my thing coming from where I came from in Chicago was very much like set up punchline, set up punchline, set up
Right.
punchline, and a lot
Old
of like
school stuff.
very like obvious target points on my opponent. Like, let me roast, let me clown, whatever. Like
Mm.
that was the style I came with, but that was not the style that was winning in that room. Like Cats was like freestyling double time off the head,
Yeah.
and what they call chopping, and I
Mm.
had no experience with that at all. So the fact that I couldn't go faster, I couldn't like get too off the wall or unexpected with it because I was so used to like doing things in a very specific way that they could kind of see coming because they was advanced past that already.
Right.
Yeah, I ended up losing in the first round.
Oh.
What would you say like your style was back then? Like who was your influence? Like
So in Chicago at that time, so Common, when he was still Common Sense, was a big influence, and then
yeah.
Rhyme Fest. I don't know if y'all familiar with Rhyme Fest. Rhyme Fest was actually in our hood with us. Like the spot
Oh,
we used to
really?
rap at, he would be there. And we were all like punchline rappers. That was our thing. We were all trying to entertain each other with like the flyest punchlines we could come up with. But
Yeah.
that was like we weren't focusing on style as much as we were focusing on like lines, like hard
Yeah.
hitting lines.
Yeah.
And so
Clever.
yeah.
Yeah.
So coming to Project Blow was really my education in like rap styling.
Awesome. Yeah. Fun fact about me, Lonnie Lynn, who's Common's dad, actually came and taught at my school in Colorado
snap.
back in the day.
That's dope.
How old I am. Yeah, he's a great guy.
Yeah, he just passed away a few years ago. I
Oh,
think.
really?
Yeah, his dad. I think his dad passed away.
Well. But yeah, so you actually went to school with Hannibal Buress, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, were you all classmates or?
I was actually his RA.
Oh, okay.
We were in college.
Oh,
Yeah. He was a year or two younger than me. So when he was a freshman, I was the RA of his dorm.
Wow. Shout out to all the RAs.
Yeah.
There's cool ones and then there's not cool. I'm assuming you were a cool one.
Yeah, I get you. You could guess what kind I was. I used to get in trouble because I didn't have enough write-ups. Like I used
Okay.
to get in trouble in the
Was there
RA
a quota
meetings.
or something?
Say what?
Was there a quota?
It wasn't a quota, but like I would mysteriously have like 0 every time.
Yeah. Okay. Like something right here.
They're gonna be like, "Oh, you just got magically perfect residence." Huh? Yeah,
Really?
what can I say? Like,
Hey, where do you call home nowadays? I didn't want to put California. That's a little generic.
I live in Inglewood.
Englewood. Okay.
oh, yeah, he's in Cali.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he moved there and never looked back.
That's right.
That's with an I, right? I'm not trying to be.
Yeah, it's with an I.
Okay. I questioned myself for a second. There we go. Boom. Yeah. So Hannibal Buress, I saw that in another interview you did with Talib Kweli, and yeah. Speaking of him, I don't know why people give him such a hard time because I don't really take issue with like anything he says.
You talking about Kweli?
Yeah. Like,
Kweli, Kweli's problem is this, and I told him that he don't know how to let shit go. Like,
okay.
So that's the thing. Like, he'll get in a back and forth with somebody, and the thing with him, if he feels like he in the right, he don't care who it is.
Yeah.
He's gonna keep going back and forth with him. So So the biggest problem he had on Twitter is he was going back and forth with this one user who was a lady.
Yeah, I remember that.
And it just looked. It was easy to frame that as Kweli, this celebrity, has been harassing this woman for 4 years, but it's only because he would never let it go. You know,
Is he a Gemini?
I don't know the astrology of it, but he's petty like that. Like he can't let nobody get one over on him if you feel like he in the right.
Now it's just like, and anytime I've seen him like on Twitter or Instagram, no matter what he's saying, even if it's just something perfectly like, non-offensive, all these people coming in, oh, that's why you this and that, I don't know. It's like they follow him around.
They do. They do. They gang up on him. But he most of his enemies he's earned in one way or another.
Oh wow.
Most of them. Most of
Your
them.
words. Yeah.
I mean, that's my dude. I mess with him, but like I told,
Mhm.
like just how he handles himself in online back and forth, it causes problems for him.
Yeah.
You
I
know, he's
think that
got kicked off of every platform at this
for
point.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
How did you feel about his last project he put out? I thought it was pretty dope.
I
Oh,
haven't
yeah.
heard it. Which one?
I'm not sure exactly what it's called,
Okay.
but they were playing a bunch of his songs on Shade 45, and I guess him and what's his name, Black Star or something. He switched his name. Most Def switched his name to
Oh
Black
yeah,
Star.
yeah,
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah, they had dropped a couple tracks on there. Every one
That
I
was a
heard
while
was.
ago, huh? Was
I
it?
think it might have been last year or the year before that,
Was
but
it the one with Madlib?
yes,
Yeah, that was dope.
yes,
I did hear that.
that
That
was
was dope.
that,
Liberation too, and Liberation. No, that's the instrumentals. Yeah, the Confidence of Knowing, I think, was the last one.
yeah,
The
that
last
whole
Kweli joint.
Yeah.
yeah,
Okay, yeah, I
every
haven't heard
track on that album was hard. Like
Yeah.
I mess with it. I
I
actually
think Jay
played one of
Rawls. Jay
uh,
Rawls was. It was a part. It was a
Yeah, new one.
collab
Yeah,
with
his
Jay
most recent
Rawls.
was Jay Ross.
Yeah, but yeah, I think he did one with Madlib too in previous years. But yeah, he's a dope artist. Like he's
yeah, he
very
is.
talented. Um, but bringing it back to the comedy side, your album Dark Comedy is probably widely considered like one of your best albums. Um, and you kind of I feel like listening to your music kind of intertwine that theme a lot. Just speaking about your personal issues. I guess more so when you released that one. That was the start of it, maybe. Sort of music as therapy or music
Mm.
creation as therapy. Um, and you speak about it like pretty bluntly. When you're talking about divorce and getting older and all these things. Uh, what was there? Was there like a tipping point where you decided I'm just going to be open with all this?
Yeah, it was definitely in making the Anime Trauma and Divorce album.
Right.
Cause I was going through some tough shit really around like kind of my marriage and all that falling apart.
Mm.
And I had always kept my personal life like very separate from my music. I would make allusions to things, but I would not usually talk about me. Like I was the rapper who I would be talking about society.
Yeah.
I wouldn't often make my stuff very personal, but when I was in therapy at the time, my therapist was like, "Hey, you're actually really fortunate because you have an art form where you can process stuff in ways that like people wish they had this kind of outlet to be able to like work through stuff in
Mhm.
art." And so at that point, I started trying to like say some of the things that I needed to say about what I was going through in the music, and
Mhm.
it sort of turned that project into what it became.
I gotcha.
Yeah, that probably was like good on your mental health too, getting to
Yeah, it
express
was.
it, and you know what I mean, pivotal
You know,
moments in your life and stuff like that.
the interesting thing was like in the making of the music, it was very helpful, but then putting it out was actually kind of rough. Like that's
Mhm.
what I learned in that project was like, yeah, this art form can be very helpful for me in terms of working through stuff. But then like if I'm gonna turn around and then sell it, so then I got to be worried about people's reviews and their opinions and like all of that stuff about it. That's when I was like, oh, I don't know if this is the move, you know? So
Yeah,
it's like
yeah.
those personal songs, like going forward from that point, like those are more for me. They're not
Yeah.
necessarily like for the albums.
I gotcha. So you'll still make the music, you just won't release it?
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
tend to more like, oh, I needed to get that out for me, and I can kind of tell like, oh, that's not one for the world, you know?
Yeah. Because is it the criticism that you're worried about, or that was kind of like a no thank you point of,
Or you don't
Yeah.
want to be judged by that.
or is it the people that you're talking about that are in your
Well,
life?
and it's because yeah, never when in the personal stuff am I like putting anybody's like business out
You're
there
not
like that.
doxing them,
Yeah,
yeah.
not like that. Like, but the problem is like there's a certain sort of detachment
Hmm.
from the product that I've learned to have over my career. Like, like when I put my first album out versus like now, right? Like
Yeah.
you sort of learn, okay, this once you put it out into the world, it becomes the world's, and then you can't really trip off of how people take it. You can't trip if people like it, if they don't. Like
Right.
there's only a certain amount of emotional investment you can give to that in order to have like a good mental health outlook on putting art out into the world, right? And I've learned that overall, taking all these lumps through putting music out there. But when I put out music that was more representative of like actual real shit that I was going through, I found I wasn't able to have that detachment. Like I was really tripping off of what people said because it felt more like, wait a minute, who are you? Like, what do you?
It's
You
an
don't
attack.
know. Yeah, exactly.
It's an attack.
Exactly. I took it way different, and I was like,
because that's your real life. Like, you know
Right.
what I mean? Like, you know, you had to be there to live my moments. You don't really know. I'm sharing it with y'all, but it wasn't made for y'all to
right.
sit here and dissect and, you know, tear apart.
Can't be like, stop listening to my music, guys.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And it's like it puts you in a weird position, like because you want people to be discussing it. You want people to be making interpretations. You want them to have some kind of feeling about it, but you know, you have to also have a distance from that.
Right.
And I just found it very hard to do when the source of the music was like my real raw emotions, you know?
Right. I wonder how Taylor Swift feels. Just kidding. Oh, she's fine.
What's this? What would be a song on that, you know, that we're speaking about now? What would be a song that you would say like is it has the most pain in it? Like
anime and
on that album, there's the first song on there, Death Parade. Like that's a real serious song. Thank you. Yeah. That's a real serious song where I'm like dealing with a bunch of like generational trauma and like how that is fucked with my relationships with people and like trying to analyze all of that. And it's like, we managed to make it into like a cool sounding song, but it's like I really deeply feel a lot of ways about that song to where, you know, it's I just look at it in a different way as some of the other stuff that I've made.
No, that makes sense. I mean, you can like for me anyway, you can hear it in your voice, and you can also even in the videos. Some of the videos. I'm trying to remember.
Do you mind sharing? Is that okay, or like, can we play a snippet of that?
Of which one?
Death Parade.
Oh yeah, sure.
For the viewers.
Yeah,
if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind.
Yeah, I'm gonna pull it up.
Okay.
But the video that I'm thinking of, I'm drawing a blank. It's because we're live. Let's see. Oh, it was dark comedy. There's some parts, you know, where you have this face paint on, and you have the guys in the mascot, I guess, costumes, and there's parts where I guess you would be singing or lip syncing or whatever, but you're just like looking at the camera, and it's like, oof, you know, you're just your facial expression is like, oh, okay, I know what that feels like.
But that was good video direction too. Like I forgot who directed that video, but they were trying to bring that out. You know, they did a good job of that.
Tell me the name of the song you just said.
Death Parade.
Death Parade.
I'm sorry.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I had kind of skimmed through some of your songs before we had got up on here, and you have like a versatile style. Like you don't have one set motion and like one set, you know, genre. You can touch every genre basically.
I try to do fire. It, but that's that Project Blow. You know what
I'm
saying?
And I was gonna say, you know, because like, you know, even with you know, like with the people out here when we were making music and stuff, you know, they were set in one way, and I would throw them in a cipher. Like, you know, you never know who you're gonna be in front of. Like, you're gonna have to learn this, you're gonna have to learn that. So you might as well get your practice in now, and that way when you go to get to writing your material and stuff like that, them different type of, you know, styles will come out in your music, and you won't just be one set artist.
Right.
Yeah. So that's how I was like, this guy's dope. I was like, the first couple, no doubt. I appreciate the work and stuff that you've been, you know, doing in your music, man. That's fire. You don't get a lot of artists like that.
I work hard on it, like you do. And he's in Pennsylvania, for what it's worth.
Oh, that's.
I'm in Louisiana. But here,
where you at? Where you at in Pennsylvania?
I'm in Reading, Pennsylvania.
Okay, where?
45 minutes away from Philly.
Yeah. I'm just in the swamp. All right.
Should have been cool. Dude got screwed up and shit got burned up. So
on double speed.
She turned bit. I got chewed up and shit fucked me up. So I'ma fuck you up. A kid called him. That kid grew up and messed this kid up. He fucked her shit up. Then she fucked dude up. It all got screwed up and that fucked me up.
You doing that for the copyright?
Wait, what?
It's playing double speed.
Oh no, I don't know what's going on. Hold on, let me.
Oh, your playback speeds up. I thought you was just
I
rapping
think
like that.
Yeah, nah.
No.
Oh,
I think it's some weird issue with the internet, but I'm gonna.
Okay.
fix it.
Well, I
Yeah.
don't know. Yeah, because for me it was playing double speed. I don't know if
No,
everybody
it's
was playing
it
double
was.
probably
speed.
It was. I thought you were double timing on that.
no. No. Okay.
The shit's out fire too.
You
So
know,
what
the
do they?
kids
What
these
they?
days, they be
I
listening
was.
to songs on all kind of speeds.
I was bopping too. I thought that's how I came on. I was like, oh shit.
No, don't they have like the sped up version of stuff? People call themselves DJs, and they just like speed up a song and put it out
Yeah,
there. Yeah,
it's a
all the
lot of
time.
that. My son put me onto that. People do slow
Night
down,
Board and
sped
stuff.
up. Like, yeah,
How old's your son?
he's 16.
Okay, my daughter's 17.
Yeah, I
I
got a
think
16
you
year
and
old
I are
too.
about the same
Okay,
age. I'm
word.
44. You're 44, right?
Uh-huh.
Yep, me too.
I feel a lot of ways about Kendrick. It's funny. We've been talking about Twitch and had a lot of discussions about Kendrick lately in the Super Bowl and the
Right.
Grammys and the battle and all of that. I've talked about a lot of that stuff on my YouTube channel too. It's really interesting because usually there's not a lot of reason for me to talk about other rappers to the extent that I've been talking about Kendrick. But I was saying in one of my recent YouTube, like Kendrick Lamar playing the Super Bowl is like the biggest moment for like a black lyrical rapper ever. I feel like like a black,
Solo flex.
yeah, like like for you could say Eminem winning an Oscar was a big moment for like lyrical rap, right? You could say that, but for like a black lyrical rapper, I can't think of a bigger moment than that. And it's like it's interesting because usually people who write like he write, rap like he rap, they don't end up in
They
them
get shelved.
positions.
Right.
Yeah. So it's a lot to think about. It's a lot to unpack. He's not like my favorite rapper or
Okay.
nothing like that, but I appreciate him for sure. Like,
Yeah.
I definitely, I see the value in all that he does, and I love the big artistic statements that he makes when every opportunity he has to like make a big statement.
Right.
He really does that. So I rock with him for sure.
The reason I brought him up is because he definitely touches on the subject of generational trauma a lot in his music.
Yeah, fear. I was
Yeah,
thinking
a lot of them. Yeah,
Mr.
fear.
Morale is kind of all about it,
exactly. Mr. Morale, and I think Good Kid, Mad City has a lot
Mhm.
of that in there too. All right, I'll play a little bit.
So what's you want to hear a fun fact? The intro to the X-Men was Whitney Houston. I'm your baby tonight.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Love Whitney. Yeah, the animator was Ben Clarkson.
Okay, thank you for that.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, shout out to him. But yeah, so I was gonna bring up MF Doom, but we touched on that.
Yeah, show. Let me see your hand.
Oh, my ring.
Yeah, she got an MF Doom ring on.
Oh, yo, I
Yeah.
got one of them. I
got one of
I don't have mine on right now, but
Oh,
Yeah.
that's
I got one
fire.
right there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
where's my camera? Yeah,
I'm left out. I ain't got nothing.
yeah. My stepdaughter has one too, but she's tiny, and so I think they were men's rings. I don't think she
Yeah,
wears.
they're very big. All the ones I've seen.
Yeah, that's what's on my middle finger.
Yeah.
So you also have a podcast about wrestling.
I'm not on that
Ooh.
one no more though.
Oh, you're not?
Yeah, like that. I started that, or I was on that when it started, and I was on it for a couple of years, but I got off of it in like 2019, 20.
Oh, my bad.
When the
good.
when the wrestling went to kind of south.
Nah, like really, what it was for me was like they had brought Hulk Hogan back after they had
Oh,
after they had let him go, or they had basically scrubbed him after he got caught saying what he said on tape, and then they
Yeah.
brought him back like it didn't matter. I was like,
nuts to this.
yeah.
Well, I'm gonna ask you this: all-time favorite wrestler.
That's a great question, man. That's a great question. So I'm gonna give you three.
Bet.
I'm gonna say The Rock, I'm gonna say Shawn Michaels, and I'm gonna say Ric Flair. I
Nice.
feel like
That's
those
an
are the
odd three.
I mean, it might be, but like those are they're
You know-
the best. Well, The
you know
Rock,
what's cra-
well, different,
Yeah,
different,
Rock-
different skills
Yeah.
I remember when Shawn Michaels threw Marty Jannetty through the
through the glass. Yeah,
through the glass. I remember that when I was a kid, man. I remember watching it. I was so heartbroken. Like that was Marty. That was the Rockers. Like, come on,
Right.
man. Like, and it was
Yeah,
on.
but-
I think it was.
No, go ahead.
Yeah, it was on. What was that? What was his name? Brutus the Beefcake or something like that. I forget his
Yeah, the
name.
barbershop. The
Yeah,
little
the
barbershop.
barbershop.
Yeah.
Yeah, he threw him through that. I was like, I was so heartbroken.
Man, I never really got into the wrestling like that, but
Man,
that
I was into that for a while till
I
like
still am. To be
I
honest, I
can't
still
get
am.
into it no more. I tried to watch it a couple times, but like after Stone Cold and all them left, like that was I'd probably say like my top three would be Stone Cold, Ultimate Warrior, and I probably can go Bret Hart.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah, Bret
I'm
Hart.
with you on Stone Cold and Brett. The Warrior,
Yeah, the
Warrior. If you go
I
back
just
and watch Warrior right now, it's a little rough. It's a little rough.
I just loved the Warrior as a kid because he had so much energy and like
Yeah, for sure.
and like I just watched like a clip just came up where he was wrestling Andre the Giant like, and I was just like, yo, I remember this like it was yesterday.
Yeah, he's just funny though, because he really like when you look back now, he really was all energy and
And
steroids, and he
yep,
couldn't wrestle
he
at
couldn't
all.
wrestle for shit.
He didn't have
Like
like he didn't have three moves.
no,
Like, he
no,
couldn't do
Pure
nothing.
cocaine.
clothesline, kick, and a jump on you. That's it.
Yep, that's it. Can't ask him to do nothing else because he can't
Nah.
do it.
I think it's funny how they used to wrestle in like tidy whities.
They still a lot of them still do.
They still do.
But I mean, just that's the like just regular plain like just Hanes tidy whities.
While we're on the subject of wrestling, let me just ask you a quick question. Have you got a chance to catch Glow on Netflix?
I know I watched all the first season. I had a few homies on that show.
Oh really?
Oh, for real?
Yeah, I've done some TV work too. So like
Yeah, he's an actor. Oh,
the wardrobe director for Glow was also the wardrobe director for a show I had on Comedy Central. And I feel like a couple of the actors too were people who I worked with before on Glow.
okay.
What show did you have on
It was
Oh.
called The New Negroes. It was on Comedy Central in like 2019.
New Negroes?
And
I'm
that,
about
that that ended up like they didn't carry it through or whatever.
Yeah, we had one season and then we didn't get brought back.
I hear they're kind of terrible there. You may not want to
Comedy Central or
Yeah,
the television industry? Period?
well, both, but mostly Comedy Central. Yeah.
The comedy, yeah, they were really at that point in particular, they were really behind the times on trying to like have shows be available on streaming.
Okay.
And also they didn't really know what to do with our show because it wasn't like they wanted it to just be a regular stand-up show, but we had all this fire music that we did on every episode too.
Right.
We had a song with Lizzo, we had a song with Doom, we had a song with Fonte from Little Brother.
Right.
We was making fly stuff and they didn't really know what to do with it.
Which is crazy because they just have the Chappelle show where the music and comedy was intertwined.
But
so
Pete, because they so this gets a little deep. Sorry if it's too much of a tangent.
No, you're good.
But when you pitch a show, it'll be like now they pitch on Zoom. It'll be just like this. Me and the co-creator would have concepts, and we'd have a little what's it called? PowerPoint. PowerPoint. Clicking through like, oh, this is what we're gonna do, and it's this, and that. What we sold them was like 3 stand-ups and a dope music video every time in this crazy sort of like Afro-futuristic space, right? They were like, cool. And then they bought it. And they had to like negotiate with other people who was trying to buy it. So they paid more than what they thought they was gonna pay.
Oh.
And then as soon as they bought it and we had our first like production meeting, they was like, so about this music, we're wondering if we can get rid of it or like break it up. Or it's like, wait a minute, but that's what we said we were doing. And then we were like, the Chappelle show, and they were like, oh, everybody used to turn off the show during the music. Is what they told us. That's what they told us. But see, but this is the whole thing with them. Their whole business, like I said, they weren't in a place where they were having shows available for streaming.
Oh.
So their entire revenue stream was based on how many people's eyeballs was watching the show on Friday at 10:30 whenever it was on. Like, so all of that cultural impact that those musical performances had on Dave Chappelle, they didn't give a shit about that at all. All they gave a shit about was that 100,000 eyeballs turned the channel when Killer Mike was on there or whoever. You know what I'm saying?
Wow.
And so they brought that same attitude to us, even though they brought the show. And we told them what it was going to be.
I wouldn't even think that many people, but you're talking 100,000 out of however many million, right?
Right. And that number is not like,
I know. I'm just saying like just the ballpark, like, cause when you get like that as a corporate entity and you're all about the numbers and stuff, that's why you get, the Walmarts and the big pharmaceutical companies that, you know, they're just screwing people up everywhere they go. But yeah, that's really dumb because I thought that the music part of Chappelle's show was a big draw for a lot of
Yeah,
people.
that's what we thought too, but apparently that's not how they looked at it internally. They looked at it as like, you know, a thing that was dragging the show down, basically.
Yeah,
I think that's something like similar to what happened to with the Boondocks or something
Yeah.
like that. Like they had made fun of Tyler Perry or something like that.
Yeah.
And they did that little musical, and I think they canceled him after that. Like, which is wild because it's still one of the greatest shows ever.
Yeah, there's still
The
some, I
Boondocks.
think, theory floating around about what happened there, but I don't know. I don't know the answer. So yeah, but to bring it all the way full circle back to Hannibal Buress, he was on the show too, right?
He was on the first episode. Yeah.
Okay. Have you ever seen what's that show about the girls in New York?
It's called Girls. Is it called
No,
Girls?
not girls. The little sketch comedy one where it's like
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
that
You're
he's
talking
on
about,
Sex in the City?
Broad City.
Broad City. Yeah.
Oh,
No,
Broad
don't
City.
say- no, not Sex in the City. Lord,
Oh, you said some girls in New York. I'm thinking Sex in the City.
of course. No, Broad City. That's a great show, and I think he wrote for them too, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
know he wrote for Saturday Night Live.
Yes.
I don't know if he wrote for. Maybe he wrote for Broad City too. I don't know.
I think so. I think
I
the
know he
two.
was a character on there.
Yeah, I think the two actresses that they wrote and he wrote as well. I also wanted to play real quick. I don't know how much time you have, but just I reached out to you for like maybe a second or third time when I saw this Instagram post you did.
Oh shit! Which one was this one?
Right? If you talking about the Super Bowl, which I think is a spot on prediction of what should have happened.
So this was from my one of my YouTube videos, and I cut it up to make a TikTok and all and an Instagram reel and all that.
Okay. Yeah, Instagram isn't like the ideal way for me to like share stuff. Let me get this right here. Let me get this right. But it is just like ideally what I would prefer to happen, you know, if there was a way I could pick.
See K and the SZA do not like us. Okay. First of all, you bring out Lil Wayne. Well, you wake him up first, but you bring out Lil Wayne. He can do a kickflip and a very sick radical guitar solo. At the height of the guitar solo, and he's wiped all the sleep out of his eyes, K introduces an army of undocumented Mexican immigrants, like a whole army of them. Like, and just so there's no confusion there, they all have on shirts, red, white, and blue shirts that say undocumented, just like your ancestors. And then from the ceiling descends a giant pinata that's shaped like DJ Academics. And the immigrants, they have these sticks, right? And they just start beating the shit out of the pinata. And it turns out the pinata shaped like DJ, also known as Demix, is filled with tiny airplane bottles full of Hennessy. And then K-Dot goes, release the elephants. And 12 angry elephants come out of the tunnel where the football players come from. And they're towing a Tesla Cybertruck. And then K-Dot gives a signal, and these angry elephants, they just start fucking up the Cybertruck. They just start fucking it up. And when they finally, with their tusks, rip the top off of it, there's a man who looks exactly like Elon Musk, bound and gagged in the Cybertruck. And you can just see the terror in his eyes. And then K-Dot does another signal, and all of the elephants turn 180 degrees and just start shitting in the Cybertruck, just relentlessly elephant shitting in the Cybertruck, just filling the Cybertruck with shit as the terrified man who looks like Elon Musk is terrified and being smothered in elephant shit. At this point, there's immigrants and Hennessy and elephant shit everywhere. And then just hear me out. And then K. brings out Drake. Bear with me, okay? Drake and K. They do a handshake like when Hulk Hard R. Hogan and Macho Man formed the Mega Powers on Saturday night's main event. They do a handshake like that. And then the beat to God's Plan starts playing. And then right when that beat drops, also a cage jail drops from the Superdome. Again, he's confused. And then you hear, and then K. and the scissor and the police and the immigrants and the elephants start doing a very choreographed crip walk. And then K dot dot
Said
breaks the
elephants
handcuffs
crip walk.
like my pet monster. Here's how I would like to see K dot dot and
Yeah,
the
that's
scissor.
hilarious.
That's perfect. I
Wow.
can imagine a more perfect scenario, honestly.
It should have happened. That's how it should have went down. I don't know why they skimped on the elephants.
Probably because they were spending all their money on shipping the homeless people out of New Orleans temporarily. So
Did they do that?
the budget exceed. Yeah,
Oh
they
my
did.
God.
The
I'm
New
worried
Orleans.
about that too, because LA they're gonna have the Olympics in what 28. And
Oh yeah, I've heard
they
that
already
LA has
starting
done that in the
madness
past.
around here. Yeah.
We're actually going to New Orleans the end of March. And putting on a little showcase there. Try to like support a couple local charities and stuff. And
That's what's up. That's dope.
yeah, thank you. But yeah, I don't know if you have anything else. Boot pressure.
I don't.
Okay.
I want him to plug all of his
Yeah,
his
definitely.
handles in.
Yeah. Any
Well, you
go
can
for it.
search me as Open Mike Eagle on everything. I'm primarily Twitch, YouTube, Instagram, unfortunately still on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm on Blue Sky too. But yeah, just search me up. I tend to be very active on just about all the platforms. And come say what up. And then, check out the Bandcamp. I got a website, mikeeagle.net.
Yes.
Always up to something. Doing a show with Fantagram
Nice.
on the 26th of this month in San Francisco. And then me and the crew I'm in Previous Industries, we're doing a show at the Tree Fort Festival in Boise in March.
All right. Nice. Very nice. And can we get you to do one favor for us before you leave?
What up? What up?
Could you just do a little drop? Like, this is Open Mike Eagle. You're listening to the Rap Yard podcast kind of thing.
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
This is Open Mike Eagle. You've tuned into the Rap Yard podcast, which is good because you need to touch rap grass.
All right. That's
It's
enough.
actually something I say a lot too on my Twitch. I tell people they need to touch rap grass. So I like this whole setup y'all got.
Thank you. You got our little Sleepy Joe down here in the corner.
About to fall off his tractor.
Yeah. He's just staring at the sun,
Old man Larry.
Oh, man. All right, man. We appreciate it. It was lots of fun. And
Appreciate
yeah,
Yeah, no doubt.
definitely.
Appreciate
Thank
you.
you. All right, folks. That's a wrap.